Welcome into an all-new episode of Nothing But Hockey. Ben Holden and Paul Caponigri, the CCHA MVP of their tournament in '04. He's still got game, apparently, because Cappy is joining us today with special guest Owen Michaels, who we're going to bring in just a moment. He was the M.O.P, the Frozen Four for Western Michigan, helped lead them to their first natty. Cappy, is this a new idea that we need to pitch to Sue Marriott at BTN for the coming hockey season? What's going on? Where are you?
I hope. I hope not, because I can't. I don't know if I can do this. I'll be out of breath too much. But hey, if you get a special guest like we're getting today, you get on when you can, and pretty pumped to talk to the tourney MVP. CCHA, just conference MVP, big deal. But NCAA tournament,
that's a big deal.
Natty Championship, MVP kind of wins that one. But excited to have Owen on, and I have no problem getting off the ice and taking a break to do this.
One shift and Cappy's taking a break. So what's your time? Are you good for the duration, or do you have to go back out for another shift here?
We'll go out. We'll go until whenever Owen's done with us, and then I'll get rid of you, and then we'll get back out there.
All right. Well, let's bring in our guest today, Owen Michaels, joining us he's about 10 minutes from me. We should have got together and did this together in the same place. From Northville, Michigan, Owen Michaels. Owen, thanks for your time, bud. It's great to meet you. We were talking a little bit before we got in with Cappy, and I said, I've been kicking your tires all year. My girlfriend works for your parents. That's kind of the connection. And lo and behold, look what happened to the Broncos, man. Thanks for coming on, man. How's it feel to be a national champ? Let's start there.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. These past couple of weeks have been crazy and a whole lot of fun. Just hanging out with the guys and kind of enjoying and looking back and trying to understand what we were able to accomplish this year. So it's been a great time.
Cappy? I don't think Cappy hears me. The beauty of podcasting and the beauty of remote podcasting.
You want me to bounce it? I'm happy to get in there. It's been cutting a little bit. Sorry about that. Oh, and I kind of missed a little bit of your answer, but just tell me what the last couple weeks have been like for you. Seen some stuff. It looks like you guys are living like rock stars. Just kind of talk about how fun it's been, enjoying the well-deserved, pat on the back from everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. It's been kind of crazy, kind of hard to, put into words. We got back the day after winning the national championship, and, a lot of the boys were talking, not really sure what to expect, just from the community and everything. And, pretty much right as we landed, we were kind of thrown right into it, and the whole community and school was out supporting us and, showing us the support that they've given us all year. And I think that's why it's such a special place to come back to after accomplishing something like that and being able to celebrate it with, the whole school, the whole program, and just the whole community. So it's been unbelievable and, something we're definitely going to remember for a long time.
Yeah, Cappy mentioned the word rock stars. I mean, I love the video of you guys coming into, I believe it's still called Reed Fieldhouse, the basketball arena there. That was pretty awesome, man. But, how do you, take me back to when the season started, when this group first got together, Owen. I mean, this was clearly, as it is for any team that plays college hockey, it's a goal to win the national championship every year. But what do you feel was the most special and maybe unique thing about this group that you guys had that went out and accomplished the goal every other team in the nation wanted to achieve?
Yeah, we had a lot of new guys, whether it was freshmen or transfers, and there was maybe some uncertainty coming into the year on, what we were going to be capable of accomplishing. And you could just tell right away, pretty much on day one, just how special of a group we had, just so many special players, special guys, just that fit right in the locker room right away. And I think one thing that, made us stand out from everyone else was our, just our buy-in and our belief in each other. And, we never kind of swayed away from it all year. And, we just took every day for what it was and one day at a time and just trying to get 1% better. And, just glad we were able to be the last team standing there.
Owen, what is it like? I mean, the new world we're in with the transfer portal and new guys coming in, but it's not just freshmen. You got juniors, guys that are older than you, right? Third, fourth year players. What is that? Does it feel different ingratiating a freshman as it is opposed to a fourth year guy that's been playing college hockey for 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you're exactly right. It's a little different. I mean, I remember when I was a freshman coming in, kind of just trying to fall in line and, only speak when spoken to kind of deal. But, these older guys coming in, you can see they fit right in right away, and, they know what to do and know, how to approach every day and kind of be a professional. And it's great for, our freshmen too, to have those older guys come in and they can kind of step in with them and kind of go through it all together. And, I just think something we did really well this whole year, credit to our leaders, Tim Washy as well. Just, everybody clicked so well right away. And, it was just like that all year, to be completely honest with you guys.
I'm glad you brought up Tim, because I wanted to ask you about him and some of your other teammates. You're clearly a leader on this team. There's no doubt about that. But Tim Washy, Pat Ferschweiler, I've known Fersch a long time, and he's as honest as they are. I believe the quote was, he's the best or the greatest captain in college hockey. What made him the guy to lead this team and to lead it the right way, Owen, in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, heading into last summer, I know for me and the rest of the guys returning, there was never any doubt that he was going to be our captain and be our leader every day. And I think he just does such a good job of every day, leading from the front and pulling guys into the fight with him. He's our hardest competitor. He's such a fierce competitor, and he brings it every day, whether it's practice, morning skate, or games. He's always giving it everything he has, and it's just inspiring to watch. And just so proud of him to see the past couple weeks he's had. It's kind of straight out of a dream. Win a national championship someplace you've been for 5 years, being a captain, and then a few days later go make your NHL debut. So I know all the boys were watching that one back in Kalamazoo, and we were cheering him on. And it was pretty special to see, and nobody's surprised by it. Just the work he puts in every day is second to none. And outside of the rink, he's making sure the boys are all together. He's cooking team dinners for us for 30 guys, and he's just an unbelievable person.
Wow, is he a good cook?
Oh yeah, he's the best. Him and Matteo.
Yeah, what?
Matteo Cosentini go at it quite a bit. Who's the best, but I'm gonna give it to Tim.
Yeah. All right, Cappy.
Well, what's the best? What's their best thing? Like, what have you said? Hey guys, make that again.
Yeah, well, so the past couple of years he's been in charge of the Thanksgiving dinner. So he's cooking up the turkey, the ham, the potatoes, you name it. We've done a couple just grill outs that, he's on the grill all day, and it doesn't really matter. I think it's more so just about getting the guys together and hanging out and enjoying each other's presence. And I think that's why we have such a special group and close group every year.
So, Owen, I want to ask you about the guys from this place, the boys from Warroad, man, the impact that they both had on your team. Give us your thoughts on those guys, the Slukinskis, and what they mean to your program and your club.
Yeah, Grant and Hammer. I mean, just two of the best people I've ever met and been around, no doubt. I don't got to convince anybody on the kind of hockey players they are. That speaks for itself. But I think one thing that stands out to me the most is just the kind of people they are. Just so much fun to be around every day. Always got a smile on their face, ready to get to work and try and get better. And they push us to be our best, and we feel we do the same for them. And just so happy that they found a home at Western Michigan. And there's to nobody's surprise the kind of success they've had. I mean, take Hammer for example. You look at his resume; it doesn't even seem real. All that guy does is just win. So yeah, nobody was surprised seeing him get added to USA's roster, and we're obviously really excited for him too.
Owen, take us back to St. Louis. The days leading up to the Frozen Four. I honestly thought you guys played your better hockey in the Frozen Four against better teams. Did it help? And we kind of hit this with JJ. Did it help going there the first time, playing a foe that you had seen a bunch of times? Did that kind of ease the pressure of their first Frozen Four appearance?
Yeah, sure, a little bit. We obviously knew we were going to have our hands full with them. Denver, obviously, storied program, got a lot of respect for them. A lot of success these past couple of years. But like you said, familiar opponent, and we've played them a handful of times earlier that year, and even a few weeks before, it took them to double overtime, and that was just a war with them, straight battle. And we knew it was going to be another dogfight, but we felt that we were prepared for it, and just like all year, we had that belief in each other and belief in ourselves, and got on them pretty fast those first two periods, and then I mean, their goalie did an unbelievable job just keeping them in the game, and expected to push from them in the third, and that's exactly what we got. But, you know, we knew going back in the locker room for overtime, we were just saying we've been here, you know, 2 weeks ago. So this is a familiar spot for us. We should be comfortable with this, and we just got to go out there and take this game. And that's exactly what we did.
The overtime winner. Walk us through that, man. Like, I gotta hear it from your perspective, man. Take us through that. What do you recall from that one?
Yeah, well, it kind of started in the D zone. Jona Väisänen made a nice little breakout play to Matteo Cosentini, who was just skating up the wall, and I was trailing the play a little bit, and I kind of remember thinking like, I'm probably not going to get there in time. I'll just kind of glide in there and make sure I'm above their guys. And, you know, next thing you know, the puck kind of came to the middle, and it was just on my stick, you know, just like that. And had a little time and space there to the net, and kind of just threw it there. And, you know, when I saw it go in, I kind of just blacked out a little bit, but obviously a special moment for our program and everything. And just glad I was able to celebrate it with the boys.
Mm-hmm. You were on a line with Alex Bump quite a bit. What can you tell us about his game? Maybe people that didn't play with him, you know, you're out there with him every day. Any little things that kind of separates him with, you know, his talent? Because clearly he's got some NHL abilities. He's gonna probably get a pretty good shot with Philly. Anything, little details that, you know, we wouldn't know about or the fans wouldn't know about Alex's game?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, unbelievable player, unbelievable talent. I think one thing that sticks out to me just over the course of the past 2 years is just his willingness to round out his game and play a complete 200-foot game. You know, coming in last year, maybe he was, you know, a little too offensive minded, he would say, but just see his growth and development over the past 2 years. You know, he's willing to block shots, take a hit in the defensive zone, get in on the forecheck, do all the greasy, maybe not so pretty things that don't necessarily end up on the score sheet. But I think that's a big reason why he also had the success that he did this year. And you know, he's just a student of the game. You know, I live with the guy, and me and him are watching hockey every night, just kind of talking about plays and everything, and all the good players that we're watching. And so it's not surprising one bit that he's had the early success he's had in his pro career.
Well, you're a hockey player to your core. I mean, Cappy and I both know Colby very well in that interview with Colby. So I preface this question with that. So for you this year, where do you feel you made the biggest jump or jumps in your game throughout the season, Owen, leading up to obviously culminating with being the most outstanding player of the Frozen Four? What was the difference for you this year from year one at Western?
Yeah, I think just having, you know, more of an attacking mindset, more confidence and belief in myself. Took a lot of pride going into last summer and trying to take that next step, you know, putting in a lot of work, whether it was in the gym or on the ice, and just felt like I was in a really good spot coming back to campus for sophomore year. And you know, like you said, had a pretty good productive year this year, and obviously it helps playing with unbelievable players. And you know, we have so many on our roster, so a lot of times I had the easy job of just maybe putting the puck in the empty net. But no, I took a lot of pride this past summer in taking that next step and just kind of growing that attacking mindset and trying to be a finisher. And you know, kind of just happy with how the way the season turned out.
Yeah, 18-18, 36 and 42 games. So real quick before Cappy goes, so in that moment, you probably can't go back and put yourself in that moment. Maybe you can. You didn't know what the question was from Colby, but the way you answered it, man, was just awesome. Just what do you recall from that moment with him, man, when he asked you that about, hey, you're the M.O.P? I mean, Colby was too, as we know.
Okay.
So that's elite territory, man. He was when they won in 2009 when they beat Miami. But for you, that moment, what did it mean to be named the best player in the tournament, man?
Yeah, you know, it's obviously pretty special and a huge honor to be recognized like that at such a, you know, prestigious event and everything like that. But, you know, I think I said it when I was talking to him too. You know, none of us came to St. Louis to win that award. We just came to lift that big trophy with each other. And that's all we had our minds on. And, you know, it could have been any one of us winning that award, you know, in St. Louis. So many great players and so many guys played so well and kept us in the game. And, you know, kind of talking about Bumper too, like so many plays that don't necessarily show up on the score sheet, but just great difference making plays. And I think we have a lot of guys that are willing to kind of play the dirty game and maybe do things that aren't so pretty. But yeah, obviously a huge honor and something I'll remember forever. But I'm definitely going to remember that big one a little more.
Absolutely, man.
Unbelievable. I want to ask about your coach. What makes him, because like he's got a little bit of an intimidating look to him, to be honest. If you don't, if you just see him, but I feel like he just seems like he's got a good mold of knowing when he's got to be hard on you, and then knows how to be I don't want to say your buddy, but just kind of take it down a notch. Just for people that don't get to see him every day like you do, what kind of sticks out for First and makes him the coach that it's got you guys to a national championship?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. He knows how to kind of flip that switch every time, and he does such a good job of it. He's hard on us when he needs to be. He's in the room swinging the golf club, just shooting the shit with us when he needs to be, and it's great. Just having that happy medium of a coach is awesome, and just makes you feel so comfortable and coming to the rink. And we also look forward to coming to the rink every day, just getting on the ice. I think that's another thing that set this group apart from everyone else this year is like we truly wanted to be there at the rink, getting better every day, pushing each other, pushing ourselves. And, I think it's largely in part because we had First leading us every day and showing us the ropes and showing us the way. And I know everybody in our room just has so much respect for him and love for him. And there's nothing better than playing for him and the rest of this coaching staff here.
Yeah, and it makes a difference too. Guys like him and JJ Crew are guys that wore that uniform too, right? That makes one hell of a difference.
Exactly.
Talk to that a little bit, and maybe there's a story there, or there was something brought up from First or JJ throughout the year. What stands out in that regard?
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool to have a couple of alums leading the way for us, and it's so evident every day to see how much pride they take in this program and making sure that it's getting to where it needs to be. And you look at the past couple of years with First leading the way, and it seems like the program just keeps growing and the standard just keeps raising every year. And we took a lot of pride in doing our part this year, and we feel that's exactly what we did.
I want to take it back because, like you, it looks like just from your road to getting to Western, you played 4 years of juniors. I mean, I played 3, and there were, USHL, and there was ups and downs, and there were times where I thought, man, am I going to make it? How does that? How does that make you today? Like the road, 4 years in juniors, couple in USHL, North American. How did that kind of build you to where you are now? And like you look back on that road to get to where you are right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's that whole experience kind of made me the person and player I am today. When you're in those days of junior hockey, it seems like everybody's in a rush, right? Everybody wants to go play college hockey. Everybody wants to go after 1 year or two, and anything after that, it seems like a disappointment. But it's a really, really good time to kind of just work on yourself, work on your craft, and enhance the details of your game. And I think I did a really good job of that each and every year, and just continually progressing and maintaining that belief in myself that, one day I am going to be a college hockey player, and there's no need to rush it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And, I'm not racing anybody else's race but my own. So I don't got to worry about, who's ahead of me or anything. I'm going to be where I need to be. And, Western Michigan, it's the perfect spot for me. So I'm so fortunate to be here and wear that jersey every day.
Your dad had given me a little bit of a thumbnail when I met your folks back in November at Yost, but share with us kind of, ultimately, what was it about Western that attracted you there? I mean, your dad did go there and play baseball, and guessing that's part of it. Yep. But in terms of being a hockey player and going to school there, what was it that put you over the top, Owen?
Yeah, it's obviously pretty cool being a Michigan guy and, my dad playing baseball there and being able to follow in his footsteps and keep the Bronco tradition alive in the family. But it honestly, it just came down to the coaching staff. During the whole recruitment process, talking to a couple schools here and there. And it was pretty evident and clear that after I talked to the coaching staff and First in particular that, I needed to be a Bronco. And, I know I made the right choice. I see it every day just from him leading the way and hearing what he has to say. I think something that sets First apart is everything he says, you see it come to life, you see it come to fruition. And I think that's why you just have so much respect for the guy and so much admiration for him on a daily basis.
Was there any thought of maybe You don't want to coming off such a great, I don't want to call it the whole playoffs here round, but you had a great year. Was there any thought of, the way it is now with pro hockey, like you strike when the iron's hot a little bit? Was there some thought about going pro at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I did a good job the last couple months of the year, just trying to stay in the moment and not worry too much about it. And I feel like I put myself in a position to where at the end of the year, there was a choice to make. And if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I love being a Bronco and love playing for this coaching staff. So it's my intent to come back and play for this team again and play for First again. And but yeah, you're right. It was had to think about it a little bit and kind of weigh my options, but ultimately decided on coming back and spending another year with First.
I tell this story a lot, Owen. I'll share it with you. You remember TJ Hensick, Kevin Porter, guys like that at Michigan?
A little bit.
Yeah. So I knew those guys really well. And I always remember both of them saying, I'm playing 4 years of college, man. I'm never going to get to do this again. I'm not saying you should play 4 years of college, but I'd love to hear you say that because, that's all going to be there for you, right? That had to have been part of that, what Cappy referenced about possibly going. Am I right?
Absolutely. It's similar to what I said with junior. It's like everybody wants to be in a rush and kind of go on to the next thing. But these are the best days of our lives playing college hockey, playing for a university. Seeing all the rest of the students in the stands each and every night, playing in front of a sold out Lawson. I mean, there's nothing like it. So, it's you oftentimes hear guys say that they wish they stayed one more year instead of the opposite, and so. I have no problem coming back, playing another year here and just enjoying it every day.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say I stayed 1 year too long.
Exactly.
It's always the opposite.
Right.
Yeah. 100%, man.
I'd love to. Yeah. I mean, your family and your dad and their influence with hockey and those, the times where you're battling in juniors to now being at the top of the mountain and then choosing pro. Like, just talk about your dad and your mom who Ben knows a little bit and their influence with you on all the hockey you've made over the years.
Yeah. I mean, though they've been my biggest supporting cast throughout it all. Not just since being in college, but the past 22 years of my life, just always in my corner, wanting what's best for me. And the amount of things, time, effort, money that they've sacrificed for me to ensure that I'm in the best spot possible is there aren't enough words to describe it. So it was pretty special after that national championship game, seeing them, giving them a big hug and just kind of enjoying the moment with them. And, obviously I just have so much love for them. My two sisters, Bridget and Maggie as well, always support me through all the ups and downs and, going through some hard times a couple years back, just being there for me, just to talk on the phone and, you're halfway across the country, but it feels like they're right there, in the fight with you. So, got a lot of love for them and, can't thank them enough. And, just super, super grateful that we were able to kind of be together after the national championship and kind of embrace the moment with them.
Yeah. And father, sons in hockey, we know the connection there. But to another degree, your dad was a longtime coach. So I'm guessing he was also a part-time bit of a counselor, psychiatrist in some ways. I mean that kindly. You know what I mean? Am I right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He spent some time, playing hockey growing up and everything, and then coaching me throughout my childhood a little bit, and then got back into baseball and coached for a handful of years there too. So he kind of gets the business a little bit and knows how to kind of teach and pick you up when maybe you're down a little bit. And I remember just driving me to games countless times. He was always giving me a little pep talk, and at times maybe I didn't like it or didn't understand why he was doing it, but looking back, it was great for me and just showed that he had so much love for me and just wanted the best for me.
What's got you excited in school? That's not another bad reason to not come back as you get closer to a degree. Like what's got you interested in school and outside of hockey?
Yeah. So I'm studying sales and business marketing at Western Michigan. So I definitely go back and continue to work on that degree a little bit. Maybe even take a couple classes this summer, try and hunker down a little bit and inch a little closer to it. But just, another year of just being with the guys, playing at Lawson, bringing in some new guys this year. Can't wait to meet them and get them acclimated to the group right away. And, I know they're going to fit right in and continue to play Bronco hockey the way we have been the past couple of years. And, there's just nothing better than college hockey. There really isn't. Before playing it, before getting here, you're kind of not sure what to expect. And then I can honestly say the past 2 years of my life have been the best years of my life. Just, being with the guys on a daily basis, the long bus trips, the flights halfway across the country. Those are the times where you really grow close and form some really special bonds.
So I'm curious, Owen, I want to show you this picture, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can you see that?
Yep. I remember that one. Yep.
I'm sure you do. That's iconic shit right there, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, is that framed yet over at Lawson, or is it anywhere in your parents' home there in Northville, man?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I was
Cool.
telling my parents right when I got home, if there's one thing I want, it's this picture right here, just hung up and framed. So we're working on it, and obviously that was a pretty special moment, and just being with the guys and celebrating that moment with them, and realizing that we were pretty close to realizing our dream and goal that we had all year long.
Did that just spontaneously happen? Like how walk us through that, because I don't know that I've ever seen that. I mean, I've seen a lot of things in hockey. I'm sure we all have, but walk us through that after you scored the goal. What happened?
Yeah, I kind of saw it was on the right line, and Eero Hakkarainen scored a couple minutes prior to make it 5-2, and you could kind of tell that, okay, maybe we're getting pretty close to doing this thing, but there was still a lot of time, and obviously BU is a dangerous team that can make it count on any given play. So we had to keep our focus dialed and everything, and I think it was about 2 minutes left when I was able to kind of shoot that one down into the empty net, and I think at that point everyone knew that that was our game, and just kind of skated over the bench and tried to celebrate with the boys. And obviously it's a pretty cool picture, and I'll be honest, I've probably looked at it 100 times since it's happened, and every single time just chills right down my spine. So definitely going to remember that forever.
That's cool. Cappy,
have you guys watched the games, or at least like the ends of those games? The overtime game. I mean, come on, how many times have you watched the overtime goal? I mean, that's
there's been a couple times.
It'd be my sleeping music to go to sleep to.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right. We've been at the house a couple of times, and we've definitely watched the national championship game from start to finish a handful of times already. So it hasn't got old yet, and I'm sure it never will. So I'm sure it won't be our last time watching it.
No. What's give us an example of maybe, was there a celebrity that you heard from, like a big name alum? Like did anyone reach out to you that way? I'm curious on that front.
Yeah, it was cool. Just the alums, especially, seeing how much pride they take in this program, and just kind of hearing how proud they were of us and what we were able to accomplish and bring back to Kalamazoo was pretty special. And going on that Spit and Chicklets Game Notes podcast was pretty cool too. I watched a lot of their shows over the past couple of years, and that was a pretty surreal moment. And, all the boys were pretty fired up when they heard I would be hopping on for a little bit there. So that was cool. But I think just the support in general from all over. Hockey's a beautiful game. It brings you all over, and I think I'm a testament to that. I've been in, Lincoln, Nebraska, Bismarck, North Dakota, Dubuque, Iowa, and I'm getting texts from all those places saying, we're cheering for you, we're rooting on the Broncos. And I think that's just really puts into perspective how big and special this moment was. And it's just really cool to know that we got people all over the country, rooting on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Real quick for me.
Go ahead, Cappy.
Well, I'll finish up with my last, because I was there for Thursday's game, and you guys had the most fans, I think, by far. But I wasn't there Saturday, but you could hear it on TV. It must have doubled in the amount of Bronco fans that came into town for the championship. Just speak on that, the support of actually building in St. Louis.
Yeah, no question. In St. Louis, that was 2 home games for us, no doubt. The Lunatics traveled so well, and obviously it was our first time in that position, so there was a little uncertainty. But at the same time, we know we have the best fans in college hockey, so we were expecting a big turnout, and even somehow they still exceeded our expectations. So it was pretty cool to see, just the support from the fans and the community and all the family and friends that made the trip down. It was pretty special and super cool to be able to celebrate with all of them back at the hotel after that Saturday night game.
I was going to say there before Cappy went, Owen. So I was around during Andy Murray's time doing that league, and I loved Andy. I loved him as a coach, and he was a great human being to me. But one thing that always stuck with me, he said, at a school like this, we're not a Power Five, we're not one of the big boys, so to speak, but you can still win a national championship in hockey, and that's pretty damn cool. Now that you've done it, what do you think that says to the rest of college hockey?
Yeah, I mean, it's special. I think it just goes back to the belief that we had in ourselves all year long. It's like, you look at what Brad Marchand said after Game 4. He's like, belief's a dangerous thing, and we had it. And I think that describes the Broncos perfectly, for the 2024-25 season. And it's like I said before, that national championship and all that we accomplished this year wasn't just about the guys in our room. It was about the guys that came before us, laying the foundation for us. And, just so cool to hear from all the alums and hear how proud they were of us. And it's pretty special just knowing that, they played a big part in this too and laying the foundation for us.
Yeah, and if you go back to that foundation, it was really like a 15-year build, right? I mean, it's kind of started when we mentioned JJ, and he was on those teams with the Kaiser and all those guys that won the CCHA. You were probably about 9 years old then in 2012, right?
Yep,
right?
Yep. Pretty close, yeah. I think I was 10, so.
And happy birthday, because I only know that because of prospects and looking you up and looking at some numbers. Your birthday's May 1, so happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah, and but like those guys were all there, right? Group I'm talking about, right? What'd that mean to have those dudes there, man? That's got to be
awesome.
Cool,
it was awesome. I remember after that game against Denver, kind of walking up to the concourse and trying to find my family, and it's just a sea of people. And to see some of those guys, I think I saw DeKaiser there and a bunch of the other alums. It was pretty special to know that they were there supporting us. And it was just awesome. And, I know all the guys are really looking forward to Alumni Weekend this summer in July. And that's always a fun weekend, just getting everybody back on campus under one roof and kind of hanging out and telling stories. And I think this one will be a little more special. Got a couple things extra to celebrate this year. So I think it'll be a lot of fun just seeing everybody again and kind of just, enjoying everything.
Yeah, the celly, the pops might be flowing a little bit from those alums. All those trophies you guys had laid out. That picture is pretty cool when you have all those trophies laid out. When you see them all, right? That's just kind of like you don't really realize what you did until you see it all together at once. Is that kind of how you felt about it?
Yeah, no, exactly. The past couple of days back at school, all the trophies kind of just hanging out in the locker room. And it seems like every morning you just walk to the rink and half the team's there and nobody's really doing anything. It's like you just want to be in the presence of all the trophies and just appreciate it all and be there with everyone, kind of soaking in the moment. But yeah, super special, just unbelievable year, and just couldn't be prouder of the group we had and just, the buy-in that we had all year long.
Yeah, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but the only one you guys didn't win was the GLI. Yeah, and that probably haunts you. So I didn't bring it up for that reason. But you won the Penrose, you won the NCHC. I mean, you won it all, man. And that's tough to do. As Cappy, he played. I've been around this game for 20 plus years. It's hard to do in that group. Like, was there a moment during the season, Owen? It seems to me from talking to JJ and now you and I follow college hockey like Cappy does, even though we do another conference very closely. But it didn't seem to me that you guys really ever had like a moment where like the consistency, I guess is what I'm trying to say, was there. Is that fair? And is that accurate? Did you guys ever have a point where you felt like, oh, it's coming apart and we got to do something? Or did it stay together all year?
I think you're right. I think it stayed together all year long. And I think those lows and those moments where maybe you're going through a little bit of adversity, I think that's when we kind of grew the closest and made the most strides. And, thinking back to that game in BC early on in the year, obviously they were at the top of the rankings. And, we knew that was going to be a great test for us. And we felt like we were the better team that night. And, it didn't go our way, but I remember sitting in the room just saying, like, if we want to get to where we want to go at the end of this year, this is going to be a type of team that we're going to play. And you could just feel the group buy-in even more. And, just all year long, just such a special group and so close and, never pointing fingers, just always pointing thumbs. And, I think that's why we were able to have the success we did.
Cappy?
Yeah,
good.
I said a ton, and it's been awesome. I really appreciate you taking a little time with us. Sure, it's not getting too old yet to talk about all the good stuff.
Never.
No, I don't think it ever will be.
Yeah, enjoy your summer with it. The alums and all those guys and your buddies, your hometown buddies, everyone's it's really fun to watch that. So enjoy it. All I can say is enjoy all the stuff that's coming to you, and then then you get back to work, in June and July. But enjoy
absolutely. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Owen, and thanks for doing this. Considering none of us know each other until now, so this was not directly, anyway. So that was very kind of you to carve out a few minutes to talk with us on our little podcast. We appreciate it very much. I'm happy for you and your family, and I got to get over to Lawson again. It's been too many years since I've been over there for a game, man. And
yeah, you do.
I know Cappy. I mean, you played a lot of games in there. I was the CCHA back then. I don't think it was as intimidating as it's become in there back then, Cappy. Am I right?
No, it was pretty intimidating then because that place is so loud.
Yeah.
Like the ceiling's so low. Yeah, the Lunatics were there. They just weren't where they are now. Like, it's elite now. They were good back then. Now it's like elite status. So it was a fun place to play because it was loud and they were mean to you. And you kind of, I love that, going on the road.
No, it's
that
awesome.
Got me juiced up. So
absolutely, I'm the same way. It's fun. It's awesome.
Yeah, you feed off of that, man. Hell, I fed off it as a broadcaster all the years, man. I'm like, I get to go to Lawson. They're playing Michigan. They're playing Michigan State. They're playing Notre Dame. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a great spot. Great environment.
Yeah. All right, Owen. Thanks again. Say hi to your family. Thanks for doing this, bud. We really appreciate it. And we'll let you go. And Cappy, I'll put a bow on this, man. We'll see you down the road, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
You too. Anytime. Owen Michaels, our guest today on Nothing But Hockey. Great stuff, man. What a great young guy and good Michigan guy. You know how I feel about those Michigan guys, and no matter where they play, Cappy. But great conversation, man. It was fun talking with him.
That was fun. I mean, it just when some people just get it, it seems like he's gotten it. And you know what? He had to work for it. Like, you go back, man, 4 years a junior, never really had a big year in junior. I think 15 goals was the most he had He worked his way, got to Western, didn't have a big freshman year, but that didn't slow him down, and also give the coaching staff a lot of credit, not, giving up on a guy. To be honest, he only had 5 or 6 points his freshman year. Well, this year he did pretty well, 36 points. So you got to give a kid like that a lot of credit. You've heard he's probably going to be the captain of that team next year. So just all around, good player. And then he gets it. He's had to work for everything, and I think he appreciates everything, and that just makes it even better. Seeing a guy earn it like that. There's all different ways, like he said. There's all different ways a guy makes it, and you put them all together in a blender, and that Western Michigan found the right ingredients and won that natty. Pretty unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's coming back, and great question by you. It's a question I think you have to ask. I mean, you said it. You strike while the iron was hot, or you come back, you get a little bit better. Maybe you can even improve your stock next year. Maybe you win another one. But to your point a minute ago, his freshman year, 38 games, he had 2 goals and 5 assists. And this year he had 36, 18 and 18. That's balance.
That's a big jump. And I think that's, it's probably tough. I think you never know what the jump is going to be. Is it going to be go up, go down, whether you had like 20 some points your freshman year and you think you got things figured out, to a guy that, hey, I got a lot of work to do here. And then, if you get put with the right players and you get a little more ice time, it's amazing what can happen with that. And then doing what he did at the end, scoring the goals in the big moments at the end of the always helps, and it always boosts that resume too when pro hockey teams are looking at you. And so I think he's in a good spot. I think his character is the thing that pro teams will love too. Yes, they want the goals and assists and all that, but if he's going to maybe be the captain next year and he's got the leadership qualities that he seems to have, that's a huge thing for him in his future as well.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to when I met his folks for the first time in November, and I said, number one, your son's a hell of a player. My girlfriend works for their family, and she's like, yeah, he plays at Western Michigan, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously he's a good hockey player. And, you know, I'm there scouting Michigan that night to watch them for the next week when I had him on BTN, and I went down. And I was like, okay, two things. Your kid's a hell of a player, and he's going to be the captain one day there. I said that in November, just the way he carries himself and the way, and I love the way he plays. I mean, he's got great NHL size. He's 6'2". I believe he's 190, 180, somewhere in that range. But man, he plays it fast. He plays it hard. He can play finesse. He can play physical. He can play a lot of different ways. Very versatile guy.
Yeah, smooth player, and he can shoot the puck. I think that was one of the things that stood out at the end, right? He can shoot the puck, you know, at least. So, pretty fun. I'm glad we did this. Appreciate the fact that you were able to get for us. And this was great. I'm gonna go get out there and get 20 minutes of cardio and try not to embarrass myself.
I'll tell Owens that you said thanks too, because it really is a result of her. So, but their family's amazing, and appreciate Dan and Judy. They're great parents to their 3 kids, and fun having Owen Michaels, the M.O.P. of the Frozen Four, on with Cappy and I here on this edition of Nothing But Hockey. Cappy's got to go snipe. We'll see you next time with an all-new edition.